You learned early how to be strong without being asked, how to stay composed while everything inside tightened. Being dependable became your role, even when no one noticed how heavy it felt. If your reactions today feel older than the moment you're in, that's not your personality acting up. It's the echo of a childhood that asked too much, too soon. Stay with this space, and subscribing softly keeps you connected as we explore what that kind of growing up leaves behind. Number 1. Hypervigilant empathy. For many children who grew up too fast, empathy didn't come from kindness alone. It came from survival. When you had to read the room early, you learned to sense emotional shifts before words were spoken. This kind of hypervigilant empathy often develops when your inner child felt responsible for keeping peace, avoiding conflict, or preventing emotional withdrawal. Without you realizing it, you became highly attuned to others because feeling safe depended on it. You might notice that you quickly sense when someone is upset, even if they say they're fine. You replay conversations, wondering if you said something wrong. This can make you feel emotionally tired, yet oddly guilty for needing space. On the outside, people may admire how understanding you are. On the inside, you might feel anxious, always monitoring, always adjusting. It's a bit like a child who learned to walk on eggshells, becoming a quiet observer instead of a carefree participant. Or like a movie character who always knows what everyone else needs, but never asks what they need themselves. A gentle step toward healing can be pausing and asking yourself, what am I feeling right now? Not to fix it, just to notice. You can remind yourself that being aware doesn't mean being responsible, and little by little, your nervous system can learn that empathy doesn't have to cost you your peace. Number 2, hyperindependence disguised as strength. Growing up too fast often means learning not to rely on anyone. Hyperindependence can look like confidence, but underneath, it's usually a child who learned that help wasn't consistent or safe. Your inner child adapted by becoming self-sufficient early, because needing others often led to disappointment or shame. You might notice that you struggle to ask for support, even when you're overwhelmed. This can make you feel isolated, yet uncomfortable when someone offers help. You tell yourself it's easier to do everything alone, but sometimes it feels heavy, like you're carrying more than you should. It's similar to a character who insists on fighting every battle solo, not because they're fearless, but because trusting others once hurt too much. Strength became armor, not choice. Healing here doesn't mean suddenly depending on everyone. It can begin with a quiet question. What would it feel like to let someone show up just a little? You might start by accepting help in small, low-risk ways. Over time, your inner child can learn that independence and connection don't cancel each other out. Both can exist at your own pace. Number 3, borrowed maturity and developmental foreclosure. Children who grew up too fast often skipped important emotional stages. Borrowed maturity happens when you had to think, act, or feel like an adult before you were ready. Developmentally, your inner child didn't get enough space to be messy, dependent, or playful. Instead, responsibility arrived early. You might notice that you feel older than your age. Even now, fun can feel unfamiliar or undeserved. This can make you feel disconnected when others seem carefree. while you stay serious or overly composed. It's like a child actor who played adult roles so well that they never learned who they were off stage. Or like a plant forced to grow too fast, skipping the time it needed to strengthen its roots. A gentle healing approach can be giving yourself permission to reclaim small moments of play or rest. You might ask, what did I never get to do back then? Healing doesn't mean reliving childhood. It means allowing your nervous system to experience safety in softness, slowly and kindly. Number 4, boundaries wrapped in guilt. When you grew up too fast, boundaries often felt dangerous. Saying no might have led to rejection, anger, or emotional distance. So your inner child learned that keeping others comfortable was safer than protecting yourself. As an adult, boundaries can come wrapped in guilt. You might notice that you explain yourself too much, or feel bad for needing space. This can make you feel torn between resentment and responsibility, unsure why simple limits feel so hard. It's like a door with no lock, always open because closing it once caused pain. Over time, exhaustion replaces clarity. A healing step can be noticing guilt without obeying it. You might gently say to yourself, feeling guilty doesn't mean I'm doing something wrong. Boundaries can be acts of care, not rejection. And with time, your inner child can learn that safety doesn't disappear when you honor yourself. Number 5, the witness wound. Many children who grew up too fast became silent witnesses to adult emotions. You saw stress, sadness, or conflict without having the power to change it. This creates a witness wound, where your inner child learned to observe pain rather than express their own. You might notice that you listen well but rarely share deeply. This can make you feel invisible, even in close relationships, as if your role is to hold space but never take it. It's like being backstage your whole life, watching others perform while your own voice stays quiet. Over time, this can feel lonely. Healing can start with small acts of self-expression. You might ask, what would it be like to let myself be seen? Just a little. Writing, speaking, or even naming your feelings internally can be enough. Healing takes time, and your story deserves space too. If you grew up too fast, it wasn't because you were stronger or wiser than other children. It was because something in you learned to stay alert, to adapt, to carry more than a child should have to hold. And realizing that now can bring both relief and a quiet kind of grief, because it finally puts words to something you've felt for a long time. There's no deadline for understanding this, and no rush to turn it into change. You're allowed to move slowly, to notice gently, and to meet yourself with patience instead of pressure. If any part of this felt familiar, you're welcome to let that recognition settle, or share a thought in the comments if it feels right. In the next video, we'll explore signs you have a wounded inner child, and how those early responsibilities can leave traces that still show up in subtle ways today. It's a natural next step, not to label yourself, but to understand the quieter signals your inner world may still be sending. Sometimes, seeing those signs clearly is how compassion really begins. Until next time, take care of yourself, and we'll continue this journey together.